Maryland comes up big at Iowa. We've had what, 3 road wins in the past 2 days in the Big Ten, which is just like unheard of.
Mhm.
Purdue won at home, but then Wisconsin won on the road. No, two road wins because Wisconsin won on the road, and now Maryland wins on the road. So huge for the Big Ten to actually get some road wins, and then of course Nebraska went crazy for their thing, but Maryland goes crazy here with Jahmir Young getting 22 or 20 points, 22 points
Yep.
in this one. So big game for him. Lee, we'll turn it over to you. What were your thoughts in the game?
Yeah, again, this team kind of goes as Jahmir Young goes. And I thought Julian was good again, shot 66% from the field with 17 points. When we win, he averages 17. When we lose, he averages 10. So I was happy to see him get over that 12 to 15 point mark. This team's still very frustrating to watch. Offense is not good at times. It's just the offense is just as bad as our defense is good sometimes. I was telling JR before we hopped on here, we rank 18th in the country in points per game allowed, but I think we're like 277th in points per game scored. So, very frustrating team to watch at times. I'm going to enjoy this one though. So yeah, very, very happy with the win.
Got Terps guy in here. Jahim. That's fitting. Very
He's a
fitting.
faithful follower of us. I appreciate him. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. He checks in whenever we're talking the Terps here, so we appreciate Terps guy checking in. Kent, what were your thoughts, man?
I got a comment on Terps guy. Actually, he sent me a photo in the DMs because my friends were at the Michigan State Maryland game, and he found them in the crowd and sent me a photo so that I could send it to them and creep on them. So that was super clutch. I appreciate Terps guy for that. I think it's the same guy. No, but great game for Maryland. I mean, anytime you can get a win on the road in this conference, it's like huge. And against a team like, I thought the most impressive thing, honestly, was what Lee was just talking about, the defense. I mean, holding Iowa under like 85 points at this point in the year is an impressive feat. And then obviously Jahmir Young is Jahim. Yes, he definitely is. I mean, he is one of my favorite players to watch, man. He's just got that clutch gene. I really like going back. I know I'm going back 2 games now, but in that Michigan State game, I was really hoping he could hang on to the ball and like see what he was going to put up at the end of that game. Just wasn't able to do it. But yeah, impressive win for Maryland and the wins that you need this time of year for sure. And I'm just excited to see what they're going to do the rest of the year. I keep thinking that Maryland's going to turn the corner after a win like this, and we'll see if they can do that this time.
Yeah, and I think what was huge in this game in a lot of ways was the offensive rebounding, not just by the team overall, but Julian Reese pulling down 5 offensive rebounds in this game. That's huge. I mean, he had 4 defensive rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds in this game, 8 overall for the team. When you can bring down that many offensive rebounds, it just propels your team to a new level. And then not only that, but 5 blocks in this game. He was one of those players. If he would have got 5 assists, he would have had the famous 5-5-5-5-5 or whatever it's called, where you get 5 in all these different areas, and that just absolutely huge for Julian Reese to play like that, because like I said a couple episodes ago, when Julian Reese is playing well and Jahmir Young is playing well, that's when you get the absolute best version of Maryland. And unfortunately, some of these guys like Jordan Geronimo and Deshaun Harris Smith, right? They just haven't produced as offensive weapons like you hope they would. And now sometimes you give these guys a little bit of time, get into the season and do some stuff. But Harris Smith still only had 6 tonight. Geronimo still only had 4, but guess what? Geronimo had 3 blocks in this game. So just a fantastic defensive effort. And then always, 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 Jahmir Young, he's going to carry the load on offense. Not just 22 points, but 5 assists in this one as well. So you can't say enough good things about Jahmir Young and how much he does just make this offense go for Maryland in so many different ways. Let's switch on over to Iowa for a minute. Talk a little bit about them. Owen Freeman continues to be one of the best freshmen in all of the Big Ten. I mean, the guy's fantastic. 14 points, 9 rebounds in this one. He did foul out, so Maryland did a good job there. Julian Reese really going after him in a lot of ways, and just the whole Maryland lineup doing that. And then Tony Perkins, your guy, Kent. Tony Perkins, 20 points in
A
this one.
quiet
So
20. I
a
didn't feel
quiet.
like he shot the ball a lot, but then you look down and he's got 20 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very impressed with Owen Freeman as well.
11 of 11 on free throws in this one. When you just continue to get to the free throw line like that. You have any thoughts on the overall Iowa team, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Iowa, they always seem to make tough shots. There's contested fadeaways, and I told the guys like they were making those tough contested shots, and we were missing wide open shots, and that normally is a recipe for disaster. We somehow pulled it out, but I think Iowa's good. I know, I say they're good. When they can score, they're fantastic, but defensively, they're not very good. They score a bunch of points, but they also give up a bunch of points, and that's why they're 3-4 in the conference and 11-8 overall. So, I don't know. I feel like the Big Ten's very top heavy this year, and then after that, it's just kind of a log jam down towards the middle to the bottom of the league.
Yeah, that's kind of where Iowa and Maryland both kind of find themselves right now, is a little bit in that middle spot. So that's one of the reasons why this was such a big game for both teams. And this was actually a quad one win for Maryland in this one. So you get yourself one more quad one win, 2-4 in quad one games. I think Maryland still has a shot to get themselves to the NCAA tournament. Iowa still has a ton of work to do if they want to get themselves there. Over 6 in quad one games. That's just, you gotta do better than that to win some quad one games and get into the tournament. Kent, any thoughts on your guy, Tony Perkins, or just the team of Iowa overall?
Oh, I have thoughts about Tony Perkins. I love the man. It's funny though, because after that, I know I keep talking about the game before, but after the Michigan State game, I saw some tweets and I saw some chatter about how Maryland needs to get Jahmir Young some help. Like he can't do it all by himself. Well, what about my guy, Tony Perkins? Can we get him some help tonight? I mean, we're relying on a freshman as the only other double-digit scorer. Peyton Sandford, where are you at, buddy? Like, we need some more points from you if you're going to win this game. I mean, it just felt like he was, to me, when I watch Iowa, it looks like Tony Perkins is on the court by himself anyways, even if all the other players are playing good, just because of how much I love him and how good he is at basketball. But tonight, it really felt like that because, like I said, the only one that scored 20, and then Owen Freeman's the only other one in double digits. So get my guy Tony some help, man. We just need some help for him. He did have a nice dunk though, right at the beginning of the game. Really nice dunk that I tweeted out. And I will continue to do that every time he has a nice dunk and tell the other team that you just got TP'd, and kind of backfired on me tonight because Maryland won the game.
I saw it, and I even liked it for you, even though it was against
thanks.
us. Yeah,
Appreciate that.
You got to put like Tony Perkins stand in your
yeah.
I should
on Twitter now.
I should.
Peyton Sandford, you mentioned him. He shot more 3-pointers than Iowa made 3-pointers in this game. Tony Perkins had 1. And Josh Dix had 2, but that was it. 3-3-pointers is all Iowa made. And truth be told, Iowa's not going to win very many games if they're not shooting the 3 better than that. 3-3-pointers, that's not Iowa's game. They're not necessarily like, the biggest barrage of 3-point shooting team out there, but they do rely on that more and need that kind of stuff to happen. So just a really good game by Maryland. I would say defensively, offensively, they still kind of have their woes, but thankfully, like I said, yeah, Jahmir Young.
That's what I was going to say. I think, in years past, Iowa always seems to kill us and people in general just from 3. And when they don't shoot the 3 well, like you said, obviously they only scored 67 points. And that's really where they make their money on their high scoring, shooting the 3 ball well. So.
Yeah, for sure. So any more thoughts on this one, Kent, before we move on?
Yeah, I just was like, because like I said, I can't believe how many points or how many 3s they missed or how many they didn't make. Like you were just saying, that was just funny because I pulled up the box score as you were saying that. I almost couldn't believe it that, Iowa at home, it almost feels like they're automatically going to be given 10 3-pointers every time they play at home. So just a credit to Maryland, on the perimeter defense to be able to hold them to 4 is insane. And like you were saying, JR, they are not going to win. They're not going to win many games, period. But they're definitely not going to win games at home when they only make 4 3-pointers. I mean, they just got to do better than that from beyond the arc. They have to, because they really don't have, besides Cricky, they really don't have any other inside presence. And tonight, even when he's better from 15 feet, right? And tonight, every time he got close to the rim, it felt like he was throwing up a brick. And the inside presence is just not there. Maybe Freeman a little bit, but yeah, they got it. They have to make threes in order to win, excuse me. And they weren't able to do that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Freeman was trying to bang down low. I mean, he was trying to get down there with them, but I mean, Julian Reese just ate his lunch. There's nothing else to say about it. Julian Reese took him to town, and then when Julian Reese wasn't there, Jordan Geronimo was there, and just taking him out. So, you really don't have an answer with Creaky and Freeman when the other guys are just. And I don't think it's a toughness issue. I don't think that it's like these guys are obviously stronger than them. I mean, I think Julian Reese and Jordan Geronimo are very strong defenders, but Owen Freeman. He's a freshman, got to get in that weight room, got to build up a little bit more. And then Creaky, he's new to Big Ten basketball. I mean, he's halfway through the season, but still, you got to get used to this stuff if you want to, play in the Big Ten and really have an impact there. Julian Reese probably going to be, on the defensive all Big Ten first or second team. Just a really, really good defensive player and going to make those things happen. So. Listen to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.